technologies that they talk about that was supposedly retrofitted to give them the so-called skunk works that they're talking about on DARPA. Uh, they have the Internet of Things and the Internet of Bodies now. It's called the Internet of Bodies.
Mm.
And the Internet of Bodies is them interfacing you directly with the technologies so that they can monitor you, your health, and so forth, but also people who have dementia and different types of mental diseases, they can monitor the chemical output of that deficiency
Mm.
and then trigger you in your brain, because Musk is working on this, trigger you in your brain in order to bring you back into balance. Or cause you to come imbalance as a result. Now, again, that campaign around the COVID that we were talking about, that was the way for the next stage of transhumanism, getting us uh, become cyborg, so that we could set up a way to manipulate the people. Meanwhile, you have Hollywood and the military itself, because it's the military that gave the money to Steven Spielberg to do the movie with the little alien uh,
E.T.
ET. The military gave him that money. The
Okay.
military gave him the money to do Aliens.
Mm.
Everything that you see, the science fiction that
Mm.
essentially is talking about aliens and the whole nine yards, the military
Yeah.
has a hand in that. So the military has a hand in funding any type of technology, any type of movies, high budget movies like the Alien Resurrection and all of these things coming down. The people who were our fathers and all this, they're they're conditioning the people to believe that entities outside of us, the
Mm.
original peoples, were the ones
Mm.
who set down air travel, interdimensional travel. All of this was actually done from our bodies. Anytime, remember I warned you, anytime any entity comes to visit you in a technology other than themselves, they are essentially brutal. Just take
Mm.
a look at the fact that
Mm.
we, advanced in technology, are the most brutal species on the planet because we use the technology to kill, to maim, and control. So, what makes you think that technology wasn't arrived at the same way?
Mm.
So, you have to understand anything comes that lands in a spaceship isn't coming for benevolent reasons. They're coming here to turn you, as they say, into the Indians.
Mm.
And they know that. The day the earth stood still with Keanu Reeves would tell you that.
Mm.
The understanding is that you essentially are the technology. That's the thing. Most of what you're looking at is so contradictory to spirit, so contradictory to your own psycho-spiritual nature, that some other entity or creature is now something that you're going to fight. Remember also that the man who was the rocketeer for the Nazis, this man who was Hitler's scientist that they brought over here in Operation Paperclip, he was the one who warned that they say it was going to be first the Germans, then the next that told you, the same with Pike, the head of the Masonic order, said that
Mm.
then it will be Islam that will become the enemy. And then he
Mm.
warned again that if you don't pay attention, you'll say the next thing that they will tell you is the threat that brings humanity together under a one world order is aliens attacking from outer space. So you have to understand that the technology has become so sophisticated, you would actually believe that what you're seeing in the skies are actually invasions from outer space. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm not going to unequivocally say anything about that, but I have to follow the bouncing ball. I have to go and do my own research. And my research tells me that the Vatican, who has more telescopes around the world than anybody, the
The
Vatican has
Vatican.
more telescopes around the world than
Than anybody?
anybody,
Damn.
any nation.
I ain't know that.
That's right.
Damn.
They have one they call Lucifer. I don't even know the acronym, but they have the biggest telescope is called Lucifer, who they worship in the Vatican. They have a temple in the Vatican to Lucifer. Understand that the whole thing around Operation Bluebeam was to bring a Christ back, to bring us to such an extent, to such a level of chaos that the Jesus that they're telling you that exists, this myth, will start coming back on a cloud, or will be attacked by aliens, and they'll give you one of the biggest light shows that you'll ever see, and you really believe that we were battling aliens in the skies. They
Damn.
can do that now. The technology is at least 100 years ahead of its time. You don't know that. They've
Mm.
already have technologies that would make you believe that somebody's in the room with you in a three-dimensional manner. They've done it. So yeah, keep thinking about aliens and so forth, but keep your mind focused on the fact that whoever wants to distract you with aliens is taking you to look over there when what he's doing over there is really where the mischief is taking place.
Mm.
So yeah, look at all the aliens and so forth, and I listened to some of my brothers and sisters talking about visitations in the sky and all these sophisticated light shows. And does anybody ever seen any of them? Have they come down? Except to those children in Africa.
Mm.
Those children in Africa at the time when these aliens had come down and these little children began drawing them.
Mm. Mm.
Who did they use to do that? Were they really that, the Greys? Well, we don't know, but the one thing I know when I studied the Greys was that they are an entity of species that had cloned themselves so much that they no longer can procreate
Mm.
anymore. So that the only way of manipulating multiplying themselves is through cloning, because they've become so they've lost their emotional bodies.
Mm.
This is what I was told about the Greys. The Greys, tall Greys, the short Greys, the little minuscule Greys. The Greys themselves lost their emotional bodies, which was necessary for sexual procreation.
Mm.
Once they've lost that empathetic part of themselves, they were nothing more than automatons, supposedly manipulated by the reptilians. So now, yes, if they're reptilians, yes, I believe that there are reptilian entities or entities that can shapeshift or entities that can do certain things. I don't close myself off from any reality, but I have to stay structured and I have to stay pointed on the fact that these people are devious. Whoever it is that wants us to believe that aliens are coming down to change us into better people and all of no, we change ourselves into better people. Ain't no aliens coming down and telling you I'm going to help you and give you these powers and so forth. All that's all their manipulation. And every time you see one of them damn aliens, they're white with long white hair. Go and look at all of what it is they say is coming down here from, Saint Anthony and Saint this and Saint that coming down to and all bright, and go and look at who it is they're telling you is coming back to save the humanity.
Mm.
Don't start saving yourselves.
Mm.
Start building on yourself. Start knowing that you are the spirit. You are the one. You are the kings and queens. You're the pinnacle of all life. Why are you waiting for somebody to come back and give you technology or wisdom? You have all the wisdom. Your ancestors left it to you. They have it all parked in under the Vatican.
Mm.
Leave all those stories alone. Start getting your food together. Take your children out these schools. You see what they did to these kids. They done shot three of them now. That now the transgender community now wants to blame us for blaming her.
Mm.
Ain't nobody talking about the victims. They're talking about the transgender girl that she was forced into doing it, and we're going to support her. And this poor girl, she was
Mm.
only 18, she was only 16. Now she's 28. It's all a distraction. Everything that you're seeing is even Trump's uh, uh,
Indictment.
indictment is a distraction. It's all a game. Get your economy together. Get your gold. Get your food. Get your water. Get your guns.
You came in here and delivered a message today, Doc. Wow.
Hey, we got to stop getting distracted by all these things. Aliens, what that going to do? Is it going to put food on your table? No.
Mm.
Is that going to put an education into your child's head? No. But it will distract you. It will give you something to talk about other than surviving over the next 10 years.
Mhm. Let's get to some Q&A from the people, Doc. I think it's about time. Let me see. We got 4,000 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. For those coming late, once again, make sure you support the good doctor. His PayPal is up on the screen. I'll leave it on the screen the duration of the show. Earth at gmail.com. He doesn't have a PayPal. So 4,000 people in here. Let's make sure we show the good doctor some love. And right now we're gonna get to some Q&A. Like I said, if you came in late, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. So you can click on the link at the top of the chat, and yeah, you'll be able to join us. All right, let's get to some of y'all did not connect your device, so I won't be able to. Rob Foster, your device is not connected. Okay, let's get to Ooh Wee. Peace. Ooh Wee, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you gentlemen doing?
All right, peace. You got a question for Dr. Valentine? One question, my brother.
Yes, sir. I'd like to say thank you, Black363. And I would like to say thank you, Dr. Phil, because I've tried one of your experiments and I knew you were the real deal. And I wanted to ask you for another tweak for my body. I dream in black and white, and I keep trying to get myself to dream in full color.
When people dream in black and white, as opposed to color, is that their mentality and the way that they look at the world is black and white. The way that they decide certain things, there has to be either this or that. You're very, very, I would say, critical about making sure that what you're searching for is exactly what it is that you found. And so, black and white is a tendency of people who are looking to get exactitude and not just to get caught up in the colors of things. Colors represent differentiations, fragmentations. The beautiful thing is you can get caught up by the colors in your dream, but when you dream in black and white, you're looking for certain answers. You're dealing with certain things that have an exactitude to them, and you're looking for it specifically. This is what I'm going in for this particular dream. This dream is supposed to give me something that's either this or that. It's not me just wallowing and getting lost in the beauty of colors and seeing who people are. Those are distractions to you. So your subconscious is based upon getting right to the facts.
All right, thanks for calling, brother. We got to get to the next question. Thank you. All right, let's get to the next question. And after Doc answers your question, I need you to leave the back of the studio so more people could come in. Because as long as you're still there, there's a limit of 10 people that could join in the back. So as long as you're still there, okay, he just left. All right. Let's get to the next question, family. Janine Vale, are you there? Janine Vale, are you there? Can you hear me? All right, we're gonna have to get to the next. Let's get to it.
She had her phone, she had her
Yeah,
microphone off.
yeah.
Mhm.
Let's get to Antonio. Antonio, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all. Brother Phil.
All right,
Hey, how you doing, Brother Phil?
one question, my brother. We got a lot of guests. One question.
Yes, yes. I live in Delaware Valley, outskirts of Philadelphia. All these derailments and all of that. Now I see there's a mixture going on with these chemicals. Now there's another chemical that transpired, and another chemical, another chemical. They don't want us to deal with the water and all that. You can't take baths and all that stuff. I mean, we boil water and all that. Sometimes we don't consume those waters, but it's the fact that if you destroy the water, you destroy the people. That's
Indeed.
all I gotta say.
But what you're saying is correct. It's called asymmetric warfare. They'll attack the environment in order to attack you. So you have to understand
Yes.
everything is being turned into a weapon. Our justice system is weaponized. Our commerce is weaponized. Our financial system is weaponized. Our system of culture and family and all of the things that keep us as a human is being weaponized. Even our women, our females, our sisters were weaponized against us. So you have to understand that everything in an asymmetric war, based upon the art of war by Sun Tzu, is about weaponizing everything because the foe or the adversary that you are on war with is more powerful than you, and they know that. So they have to undermine us from within. That's what the southern border is about. They have over 2 to 3 million people who've come in here, and these are Chinese nationals. These are people coming in from the Arab nations. These are not just people coming in from South America, coming in from these other islands. These are people coming through Mexico and are picking up stations. These are the sleepers that you're going to go to war with, or maybe going to war with soon. And these are the ones that are going to be recruited by Antifa to start the chaos. That's what they want you to do now that Trump has been indicted. They know that if Trump gets in, there's going to be a war against them because there's a war going on against them right now in the Ukraine. That's what Putin did. He attacked them because the Ukraine was a hub, one of the biggest hubs,
I heard. Yeah.
one of the biggest hubs for child sex trafficking
Yeah, I heard.
and sex trafficking itself, as well as the ones who actually weaponized what you took in during the COVID war plan, genocidal plan. So you have to understand that that's exactly what we're at. We are at war. So the train derailments, all of these are sabotage. You got to destroy the infrastructure. That's why you see Gates buying up farmland. Why you see they stopped taking the oil and made us more dependent from outside oil. The person in office right now is an enemy. He's in the pocket of the deep state. That's why you have transgenders in the government right now, big time. You have one transgender was stealing people's luggage off the airports, women's luggage, and putting it on.
Oh shit.
They're laughing at us. I'm sorry. Go
Oh
right
man.
ahead, brother.
Let's get to the next call. This is Cyberlord. Cyberlord, can you hear us?
Yes. How y'all doing? Doctor Valentine, I've been a fan of you for years. My question is quick. The new Fed now CBD currency that they're about to issue. Are they about to collapse the economy and totally replace Bitcoin? Um, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay, good question. I would not deal with Bitcoin. Bitcoin will go the way of the dodo bird in about another 5 to 10 years, even less than that, because it has
Damn,
no
that
intrinsic
fast?
value. Yeah,
Whew.
it'll probably hit a half a million to a million, and then all of a sudden drop off. The banks do not want anything that they do not have a hand in controlling, so they are not going to adopt that which they are not part of. That's why XRP is superior. XLM is superior. Quant is superior. XDC is superior. HBAR is superior. All of these have a use case for those CBDCs or for the banks. I don't want no CBDC, not here in America. I don't want nobody knowing exactly what I buy and when I buy it.
Mhm.
But that's what they're fighting over here. They're fighting not to deal with the CBDC and to make sure that our central banking system uses a system that does not use a central banking coin, because then that will lock us in. We will have no other choice but to buy and sell at their command. And that's what they're doing around the world right now with the WEF, which is the World Economic Forum. They're trying to get us off the dollar and onto a world digital currency. And that's going to be your mark of the beast.
Okay, let's get to the next question. Joshua 369. You got a question,
Peace,
my brother?
peace. Um,
Oh, whoa, damn, Joshua. Somehow he got disconnected. Uh Call back in, my brother. I don't know what happened. Nothing on my end, but call back in, my brother. I'll put you on after the next call. Let's get to the next caller, Kunta. Kunta, man, what the hell you doing over there, man? What
Yeah,
questions you got, my brother? What's up?
shout out to Germany, Dr. Phil Valentine. I highly honor you. Thanks for your book, You're out there
Give thanks,
Hey,
brother. Give thanks.
swimming through this, black water, but whatever. I got a question, and I'm wondering, like, how is this gonna be orchestrated? Because, okay, the market is falling, but in what time frame? Like, can we kind of have some projection? Is it gonna be in the next 2 months? Is it gonna be in the 3 months? When is that hyperinflation taking place? Thank you. Ashe.
Good question.
thank you, my brother.
Good question. This year, this is why we are in a preparatory mode for us and we go into survival mode. There is a countermeasure in place to, it's called the quantum financial system, the QFS. That's the one that's going to war against the the Great Reset. The Great Reset is the Illuminati, that's them. The quantum financial system that was in place before they dismantled it or they attacked it on 9/11, that was supposed to be announced outside of the World Trade Center at 9 p.m. on that Tuesday. But what happened was the attack took place at 9:57. If you noticed, that they sent that rocket that was disguised as an airplane into the building and shut that down, which was actually to stop the quantum financial system from going into place and to institute in the next week after the attack a 2,000-page Patriot Act that was part of the that began the attack. Now I'm saying for everybody that the mission to get us completely subservient and to kill off as many as we can is until 2030. You may have been at one of my lectures when I talked about the time frame, which was 2030 to 2050. But by 2030, they hope to have us all on electronic cars to have stopped us from dealing with any kind of oil, which is ridiculous because that way you can, the oil is what generating everything. It's generating the electricity for you to charge the cars. They want to maintain a control over Africa. So I would say to stay away from any of your EVs. I know a lot of people want to buy the EVs. It costs 120,000, some of them, but these EVs are actually built on slave labor. The materials being used, the lithium and the materials to use the batteries. You can recycle the batteries, but they're not biodegradable. But to get the lithium and the materials that make the batteries, slave labor is used, child slave labor is being used to make those batteries. So this whole change over into an electronic system is another means of control because if you get one of those cars, by the next 2 to 5 years, they're going to have chips in them. And these chips are going to make sure that whatever area you live in and whatever economic status you have, you are not going to be able to travel outside the boundaries that that chip designates as your cutoff point. So you can't drive out from one state to the next. You can't buy certain food because you have a particular label. They're already doing it in China. You're not going to be able to buy food, pay your rent, buy homes, do anything that the state says based upon your what they call social credit. This is all supposed to happen before 2030. It's a gradual process. The only problem is that Trump is in their way. And I know everybody's talking about him and saying he's this and that. The Democrats have really stuck their own foot up their own backsides with trying to indict him. When they indicted him, they're just guaranteed that he's going to be the next presidential candidate in the Republican Party.
Damn, thanks for telling me, Doc. I was just saying what alive. Let's get to the next question, the next caller. E.
What alive? Let's get to the next
E.
question. The next
Can you hear
caller.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You have to turn down your TV because I can hear it.
Okay, hold on.
have to turn down your TV.
Better?
Yeah, much better. You got a question, my brother?
Yes, I got a question about space. Um, I don't believe the moon landing. I don't believe that they've been in space no type of way or form because I believe that they lied about the moon landing from the get go. So my question is really, how can we believe anything they say about space?
That means, brother, the very notion, the very thought process that you are engendering shows that you are of high intelligence. This is
Thank you.
this is why I say this. The very fact that space, as they actually tell you, is a lie, because the only way that you can actually support a uh, a atmosphere for the life of sentient beings is to make sure that that atmosphere is within a closed structure. But they tell you that there are layers to the atmosphere going all the way into space. But then they tell you that space is a vacuum.
Right.
So, how does a vacuum exist immediately and directly in line and right up next to an atmosphere, and that atmosphere isn't being sucked out into outer space?
It's impossible.
Impossible. But they do tell you that Einstein solved that problem with his general theory of relativity, because space to him is like a giant trampoline, and that the density of space, which is ether, it bends, it folds, and the mass causes space to bend and therefore causes the earth to spin around the sun, which is the most ridiculous thing that we have going on, which is why my webinar is going to show the scientific proof that we do not live in a spinning water ball that's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator and spinning at 66,000 miles an hour around the sun, which is the
You are so right.
hurtling through the earth at 166,000 miles around the center of some galaxy. It's ridiculous.
Right. If all possible, then how can you get a spaceship off of this Earth into space
Indeed, there
if
is
you're spinning that fast?
indeed. And how do you land an airplane down by near the equator if the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and you're only flying at 500 miles an hour?
Right.
All right, we gonna get
Th-
to the next caller, my brother. I got a lot of people, my brother. I appreciate the
That's
call.
okay. Thank you.
You're
All right, peace,
welcome.
brother.
Just be on the
All
lookout for my webinar.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
all right, my brother. Let's get to the next call. Ibn Abdullah Rashid. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Do you have a question?
Yes. Peace, brother Rich and Elder Doctor Valentine. Thank
Salam
you for all
alaikum.
that you brothers do.
Peace.
Question is, where do you see our people going as far as melanated people in the future, and where was our place as being as cultivators of civilization with this new paradigm shift?
Well, I see us right now awakening, and we have very good faith in the fact that you young people are actually doing the work. You're putting in the work. I'm just as concerned at the fact that your culture, we talk hip hop and rap, is not leaving you anything aesthetically pleasing. It's
Mm.
leaving you in a rut of that they destroy aestheticism. And of course, or Theodore Adorno was responsible for destroying the aestheticism of culture and music. So when I look at some of the things that a lot of your hip hop and but actually your rap, your rap royalty you're talking about, they don't ever talk mostly about music. 80% of the
At all.
conversation is always about who was afraid of who shot who, and who stole from who screwed who. I ain't never heard none of that coming up when I was talking to people from the Earth, Wind, and Fire. And when we sat down, we talked about music. We talked about love. Look at all the music that was coming up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and just by the 90s, just creasing the 90s before things started getting crazy. We may have dressed crazy in the 70s and the 80s, looking like fools away with all of the stuff with funkadelics. But if you go back to the music, that's what's being sampled today. That's what you see these little white kids dancing to today.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit down with Jay-Z and all the rest of them, it's all about this, this, and that, and who was afraid of who. Look at how they're outing the hell out of Puffy. I call him, he says, well, he had a hand in killing, what's his name? Big
What,
heavy
big,
set brother.
big,
Big, big,
big,
Big,
yeah.
big.
big heavy set, of course, big. Biggie Smalls. And now they're outing him, talking about he was the one. I don't call him, P. Diddy. I call him P. Did it.
Oh man, that ain't right. That ain't right, Doc.
And then you got to deal with the fact that all of the jealousy and all of this money grabbing and all of this madness, all of the fact that now that this minister for for Beyonce said that Beyonce will be calling her up, please come and help me, because Jay-Z is doing AB on the third, and so you don't have an aesthetic thing to go back to and said during this time this particular music helped us to do AB and a third. It just got you angrier and angrier, stratified you more into gang-like mentality. Now all you can do is do a crip walk. What's a crip walk? What's that? What does that mean? A crip walk is you doing a gang type symbolism. They put these people in there, these government agents. Tupac wasn't a gangbanger. This dude went to Juilliard. And what about your boy? What's his name? Did it or Dog it, whatever.
Yeah, that guy.
These guys, they were bought and paid for. And how is it that you could talk about fuck the police and then become a superstar after that? Anybody thought about that? Could you imagine the Black Panthers saying that? What did they say that when the real ones were actually the revolutionaries who said "fuck the police" and walked into the government house strapped? That's gangster. But all this other proselytizing about what you're gonna do and this and that. I got the grill. I got the spinners. That ain't shit. That's all that's proselytizing and doing all of this and doing what? How did that advance?
Mhm.
What did the Black Panthers leave? They left the free lunch program that's still being used by the United States, across the United States, to feed poor children.
Definitely. Hey, I appreciate your call.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum.
Peace. Next caller. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, before we continue, let me just I'm gonna be putting Doc's PayPal. Oh, I messed up. Hold up, y'all.
Oh, by the way, just somebody seemed that they wanted to deal with the wounded womb, or the
Uh,
Book of the Earth. No, actually, the Book of the Earth. You can't find the Book of the Earth right now. I'm still working on it. The only thing that's available is the wounded womb right now.
okay. All right. Doc's PayPal is on the screen. kemetearth@gmail.com. He does not have a Cash App. I know everybody's used to the Cash App. To support the brother, hit up the PayPal family. All right. Let's get to the next. All right. I got to clear some space. Ibn, I got to clear some space in the back. So I'm going to have to get rid of you. And E, I'm going to have to get rid of you. And let's get to Mummy 2K. Mummy 2K, you got a
Peace,
question, my brother?
peace, Brother Rich. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace, Dr. Phil Valentine.
Hotel.
My question is quick. We now have movement on the doctrine of discovery.
Heard about it.
And
Heard about it. Yeah.
yes, yes. It's been a long time. This is big news.
Yes.
They haven't rescinded yet, but what they're doing is just apologizing. And according to what Aquarius Maximus was saying the other night on your show, Father Rich,
Mhm.
how does this play into the financial situation? Are they purposely trying to give us um,
Well, reparations.
reparations and kill a dollar at the same time, so it's worth nothing?
There
Good,
you go.
good question.
Peace.
Yeah, good
There
question,
you
brother.
go, brother. Good. I like the shirt too, brother.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I'm
Yeah,
out.
you
thank you,
hit it
brother.
right on the head. It's a
All right,
strategy.
that's
Yes.
it.
Give with one hand and take with the other.
Mm.
Yes.
You have to understand that they are never, ever, remember why COINTELPRO even existed. You shall never have a Messiah arising. And that doesn't mean just a person, it means a system
Yes.
that
Yes.
can be the savior of our people. But only our rescinding of our input, our energy input, because every time we show our creativity or show our abilities, they use it and they take it as if it belongs to them, as it's a crop that belongs to them.
Mm.
We have to be able to consolidate our people's talents in genius and everything so that it pays us, it uplifts us. Why? Because we are not accepting ourselves as the autochthonous peoples of this Western Hemisphere. Western civilization that these Europeans talk about, they are a Nordic civilization. They're not a Western civilization. Western
Absolutely.
civilization was destroyed, and they just took it, just like they take everything else and gentrify it. They gentrified our Constitution and created these two other constitutions that they're running on, the ones that destroyed the original 1789 Constitution that we had a hand in creating.
Hmm.
We were the original 12 colonies.
But astrologically, it's time for them to pay up.
Oh, they're going to pay up.
Comically, it's time for them to pay up.
The only reason that they're going to pay up is because they're going to disappear from the gene pool.
Woo.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what they hope.
This is what I wanted to pull out of you.
Mhm.
That's cold, Doc. That's
This
cold.
is
All
what I
right.
wanted to
I
pull.
can't help
Peace.
it. That's the most high. Thank you, brother.
Hey,
Have a
thank you, my
great
brother.
one.
All right,
You
peace,
too,
peace.
beloved.
All right, let's get to the next caller, Shawnee L.
Peace, brother Rich. Peace,
Peace,
Baba.
peace.
I had a quick question for you. Concerning going back to the discussion that we are having on the AI, um, do you feel as if there's actually a way for us to co-opt the AI to make it something that can benefit us, as opposed to just looking at it as a negative thing? And in conjunction with that, do you believe that nature, or using natural elements, or using the actual systems that the Earth has to actually integrate with the AI to um, combat what they're trying to do as far as overpowering, I guess, our own abilities
Mhm.
naturally to, I don't know if that was
Excellent
my
question. Excellent question. What you're looking at, and this is the part that's going to really, this is going to tax us because the air is being sprayed with nanos that you're taking into your system with just your every breath. And you could tell when it's going to rain, especially because they don't spray the sky unless it's going to rain. And so watch every time you see the crisscrossing, know that it's about to rain because they're actually seeding the atmosphere so that you're breathing in the nanotech that is going to interface you with the AI system. That's what that whole stabbing ritual for those past 2 or 3 years was about, getting into your bloodstream and to set off through the 5G system that's all around you to interface you with the AI through the 5G, 6G, 7G system that is a learning apparatus for the AI system. 5G is a learning apparatus. That's the fifth grade. Just
Mm.
look at it that way. For the hyper intelligence that is using your form, especially once you've been stabbed. Excuse me. It's using your form, your biochemical, bioelectric, biomagnetic energy that is coming off of your own unique aura. It is duplicating that in the AI system.
I see.
And they have replicants of you in the AI system, and you're to practice being part of that through something called the metaverse. And you're going to be it's going to get so sophisticated that what you have fed into the AI is going to be so connected to you based upon that technology that it will be feeding you instructions that will mimic your thinking process. This is why they found this out, that the computer took over this dude and he was following the instructions of the AI system, which is why Elon and them came out right after that and said, we got to shut this thing down. It's becoming sentient. But they say it's too late. How you become more protected is to understand, and this is what our university is about. It's teaching you the techniques to know whether or not you're thinking your thoughts based upon you, whether you are thinking your thoughts or your thoughts are thinking you. So
Thank you.
understand that you have to become very, very cognizant of what it is that your thoughts are telling you. If you start thinking about killing babies or doing certain crazy stuff, know that that ain't your thinking. Know that you are being given certain, they have the way to project thought processes into your brain to align with your aura to make you think that you're hearing sounds that sounds like your thoughts. That's how the technology has become so sophisticated.
Thank you
Hope
for the
that
question, my brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Peace. All right. For those asking to call, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. So if you would like to join us, it's at the top of the chat. But I need to make sure you support the brother for doing this type of show tonight. This takes an incredible amount of energy to answer so many questions from people all over the world. And I appreciate Doc for agreeing to do this show. It's turned out to be an amazing show. I want to thank everybody who has participated up to this point. We got about 5,400 people in the chat right now. Please make sure you support the brother on PayPal, cometearth@gmail.com. And Doc, also be careful with the references to the the thing, because they
yeah, yeah,
sophisticated with the they real
yeah.
sophisticated now with the what I'm
The
saying.
algorithm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the
trying to
algorithm.
stay. Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
I, I
stay as
def I
yeah.
definitely need this show to stay up there. Let's get to where the sisters at. Yeah, where the sisters at? A lot of brothers here. Where the sisters at tonight?
Who's mayor?
Let's get uh I don't
Is
where
that
you
a
see that
female?
at?
Is that a woman? I see a
Oh,
mayor.
okay, you can see, yeah. I have no idea. Let's try. Since
Yes, it
Doc
is a
said
woman.
Mayor, Mayor, are you there? You're on
Yes,
mute.
yes,
Okay, this sister. How you doing? You got a question for Dr. Valentine?
yes. I am 12 years old and I've been watching you forever. And my dad watches you and Bobby Muhammad and all the other people. And I just wanted to, I've been getting signals and stuff about you. How can I tap into my goddess form? And like, how can I raise my vibrations? I
How
know about
old?
meditating.
Oh,
12.
you're 12. Oh, I
Yes.
love you. You know that in the story of Jesus,
Yeah. Yeah, Doc, are you there?
yeah. Okay, here we are.
Okay.
Okay, yes. So, I just wanted to tell you, Mayor, excuse me, that do you know the story of Jesus the Christ, the myth of Jesus the Christ was that he went into the temple at 12 years old and blew the minds of all the elder priests in there because he was so intelligent, shows your intelligence as well,
Thank
that
you.
you're a little leader that is about in the making. The fact that you are not, watching TV and doing all the things that children or young people your age are doing. You're looking to grow yourself at a point in your life that will be pivotal in making you the great woman that you're going to become.
Thank
So,
you.
one thing I will tell you, just make sure that as you are growing, that you are staying with people who are about to stay chaste. I'm talking to you like I talk to my daughter. Make sure that your body is a temple and it is not to be violated or desecrated and to follow along with certain impulses. You are a treasure You are the mother of civilization, and therefore you have to act as such. You have to be the example of that, because from your womb, when you are old enough, from your womb will be the next generation and generations to come.
Yes.
So, what you're teaching yourself at this particular time, your focus and your attention, you make sure that whoever that man is that you choose to be with you, because that's you, you're the one to make that choice. You make sure that he's not running the streets and he's not crazy, gang banging, and try, because it's the truth is a lot of your children, I mean, a lot of your sisters are liking that type of guy.